Welcome back. It's Lorraine with Lorraine Mary Fitness, and I am so excited to be talking to you about Eating Healthy for Beginners Part 5. This is the final part of the series, and today we're going to talk about food swaps. We are going to wrap up this series with all of the tips and tricks that I've given you and ideas, but how do you actually make things healthy? So I've given you ways to start, forming healthier meals, but today we're going to talk about the idea of food swaps and how this helps you make your food healthier. So the first thing that I want to tell you, and just really let it sink in, is that when you start eating healthy, it is not a quick fix for weight loss. It is not a quick fix for fixing your health problems. This is a lifestyle, and you need to treat it as a lifestyle change versus something that's going to happen overnight. Think of it as a marathon. You're training for a marathon because you want to sustain this your entire life. You are not looking for a sprint race, just trying to get there and be done. This is something you should want to maintain the rest of your life. So if you can get that in your mind that this is a lifestyle change and not just a quick fix, first of all, you're going to have far more success when you're trying to transition to healthy eating versus what you're doing currently. One way I like to describe it and compare it is like a roller coaster. I've been on this for 2 years or so, and it's a roller coaster, guys. There are times where you're on the top of that hill and you're like, I have this, I have conquered this, and I've got it going on. And then the next thing you know, something in your life happens and you come crashing down and you feel like you're starting right where you're right back to where you started, and you're at the bottom and you can't dig yourself out. But I just want to tell you that if you get off track, it's okay. You're not going to just sprint back to the top of the hill like you had been at before. You're going to take baby steps, one meal at a time, one healthy choice at a time, and you're going to keep building, and it causes momentum. And all of a sudden, you're going to be back up on the top of that hill, and when life knocks you down, now you know how to get back up to the top. So it is a roller coaster. You're not going to be perfect 100% of the time, and if you are, come talk to me because I want to know your tricks, because I am definitely not perfect all the time. But just know, if you get off track, it is not the end of the world. You just, one choice at a time. If you all of a sudden drink a soda again and you're like, oh, I'm back to drinking them all the time, stop. Choose water over soda one time and then do it again and do it again. And then, when you go out, order a salad instead of a burger and do that again and again and again. And momentum starts flying. But what I want to express to you is that you do not have to give up the food you love when you're trying to eat healthy. It's not about not eating. You don't have to eat kale chips and salads for the rest of your life to eat healthy. It's not about that. It's about taking the things you love and making those healthier versions. So the idea behind that is food swaps. You're just going to swap food for food. And this video is going to be super short because it's genius, and I'm not going to give you a list of food. You can look at that on my blog. But this is the idea behind it. We're going to take spaghetti because who doesn't really like spaghetti? I don't know very many people who don't like it. So when you're swapping food, the truth is some food is easier to swap than others. Some you don't notice the difference that much, and some you're like, that is not what I thought it was going to taste like. Some of it is a mindset. You have to go in going, it's not going to taste the same because it's a different food. It has a different texture. It's not the same thing. It is a healthier version. And mindset plays a lot in your ability to eat healthy. One thing that I read one time in the book, what is it called? I'll have to get back to you. I can't remember the name of it right this second. Sorry, it just popped into my head and then out of my head. But what it said is, fuel your body for it to function properly. Don't treat your food as a reward. You want to fuel it so that it can function the way it was designed. Having that mindset has made the biggest difference in my health journey and my eating habits. So let's talk about spaghetti now. So an easy swap for spaghetti would be if you're a person that puts ground beef in your spaghetti sauce like my family does, or even just meatballs. You're going to take that ground beef and you're going to switch it with ground turkey. You're going to save on the fat. You're eating more lean meat. And to be completely honest, the taste and texture are not that much different. Turkey meatballs, my kids love turkey meatballs. And my kids don't notice when I put ground turkey in instead of ground beef. That one is an easy swap. Another one is, I tend to eat a low carb diet. I still eat complex carbs, but it goes really quickly when you're not eating very many. So another swap for spaghetti would be spaghetti noodles wheat noodles, or especially if you're using white noodles, start with whole wheat. But the other switch you can do is going to spaghetti squash or zucchini noodles. One thing I can't do, I don't like zucchini noodles, guys. I really don't like zucchini. It's not a vegetable of my choice, so I choose not to eat it. But I have been able to switch to spaghetti squash. And this is one that's a little bit tougher because spaghetti squash looks like spaghetti noodles. The texture is very different. But when you top it with spaghetti sauce and your meat, you can adapt. You have to go into it going, this is not going to be a pasta. It's not going to be a wheat. But it gives me that sensation of eating pasta, and I'm getting a vegetable in instead of a carb, which we can all definitely use more vegetables in our life, most likely, if you're like most of America. So that one's a little bit tougher, but the ground beef is an easy one to switch out. You know, another easy one would be, instead of making fried chicken, grilled chicken or baked chicken, and don't bread it. Leave the breading off. Get rid of those extra carbs. That one's not that hard either. It's a little different, but definitely you're still eating chicken. It's not that bad. One that's a little bit harder would be rice to cauliflower rice. So they make this amazing cauliflower rice in a steamable bag at Walmart, because that's where I buy mine. And this one's a little bit different. You know, rice has that hearty texture, and then cauliflower rice is a vegetable. It's kind of like going from spaghetti noodles to spaghetti squash. But when you're eating it, you can put it underneath your stir fry or just on the side. I don't know what you eat rice with, but you can mix it in with other things, and you're not going to notice it that much, but you have to go in saying, it's not rice. It is cauliflower, and it's better for me. Mindset, guys. You have to change that mindset, and your life with this transition is going to be so much better. And the other thing, like the ones that are a little bit harder, so the cauliflower rice, a good thing to do is experiment with different herbs and spices that you like already. You know the flavorings and the seasonings that you like. Experiment with that on these vegetables that you're subbing in for carbs, or whatever it is that you're substituting. Try and experiment and see what way you like this. You know, don't give up the first time when you're like, this is not very good. Go, you know what? I didn't love it this time, but I'm going to try again, and I'm going to try cooking it a different way. And the exposure, I forget, I've looked this up before, but I want to say it's like you have to expose kids to something like upward of 20 times before they actually like it. And how true is that? My kids didn't like chicken for so long besides chicken nuggets, and I kept giving it to them every day, and they did it. My little one didn't eat broccoli, and I gave it to her every day for a week, and now the kid loves broccoli. It's true for us too. We're just like little kids, just bigger. So just keep exposing yourself to it. Keep changing the recipe, what you put it in. Try it different ways. Cook it different ways and see if you like it better one way over the other. But you just have to experiment. You have to try. But it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to swap out everything at once. Just pick some of the ones that you go, I think I could do this. Try it. Get used to it. And then add another one in. And again, you're going to build. One thing after another, and you build and you get this momentum, and all of a sudden you're up here at that top of that roller coaster and you're like, I can do this. I'm eating healthier, and I'm still eating the foods that I love. I'm still eating Chinese food, but now it's a healthy version. I'm still eating spaghetti. I'm still eating chicken and vegetables and potatoes, and all of these things that you do love. You're just eating a healthier version. So you don't have to sacrifice the food you like. You just have to alter it to make it a healthier version. So I hope that after wrapping up everything we learned about breakfast, lunch, dinner, all of those things, once you add these food swaps in, your meals get even healthier, and you can be on your way to healthier eating because you're going to feel better. I promise you're not going to feel so heavy and weighed down if you start changing out these things, and you're going to have more energy and be more full of life. Look at my bubbliness. No, I'm not always this bubbly, guys. I do have 2 kids at home, and I'm tired a lot. But I do feel better when I'm eating better, and I can definitely tell a difference, and I know you will too. So if you have any questions, please message me, ask me in the comments. If you have any amazing recipes or tips to help any of these new people out that are just starting, feel free to share them in the comments, and I will pass them along to anybody that needs them. Thank you again, guys, for joining me on this series, and I hope you guys come back to start our new series, which is a secret, and I will be starting that on Monday. So you guys have a fantastic day, and thank you again, and I will talk to you later.